Hi everyone, welcome to the first Physio Gym exercise series. What we're going to do today is basically go through the foundations of the Physio Gym Cheng Moi series. With the Cheng Moi series, what we're going to do is look at the very basic elements of connecting to the ground and using the energy of the ground and working that energy up into the body so that we can actually then get better movement through our spine and torso. So, this is a fantastic series that's actually very good for people with knee pain, and also you'll find that this is a very good series for people that have got hip issues. Stage one of this series is to first of all discover how to use the lower legs. You can start with the leg going all the way out, and you can flex your foot if you're sitting on the stool. As you flex the foot, you'll feel the muscles on the outside of the leg activate. That's the peroneals. Then you can bring that foot all the way back and draw it all the way in towards your seat until you feel it activate again. You're going to push it out, flex, activate that foot, coming back in and draw it in. We'll go on to the other side. Forward, 2, 3, flex, 2, 3. Coming back, 2, 3, draw it in. Forward, 2, 3, flex, 2, 3, coming back, 2, 3, draw it in. Now, you can then just move the feet just slightly out in front of you, so they're just in front in a forward position. Now, with this particular movement, what you're going to do is you're going to draw the legs back. You draw them in behind you until you feel the muscles down here activate. So the knee is definitely in front of the ankle joint. So you've got more of an acute angle with your knee. Now in that position there as well, as you're doing it, you want to be thinking about your spine. So we're going to draw the feet in first of all to get to that position. And then we're going to push down through our feet so we activate these muscles here. Draw our head back and you'll feel your lower back here going into extension. And then relax. Now, keep the heels drawing back, push down through the feet. Draw the head back and feel your lower back activate so you feel the extensors working. If you're doing it properly, you'll also feel the activation of the hamstring muscles. And then relax. Now, what we're going to do is do some of the basic movements of the spine once we've activated that series. Position your feet first of all. Draw the head back. Feel the lower back muscles activate, and then from that position there, you're then going to extend the spine, so you have a full arch in the back. In that position there, you're then going to round through the spine as well, and then come back up. So you have both extension and flexion elements. Now in both of those things, you want to be pushing down through the feet. Extension, I'm pushing still down through the feet. And flexion. And then come back up. Now, what we're going to do is do some very basic movements of the spine using these these simple concepts. Okay, so the first exercise that you're going to do is you're going to draw the head back, feet back, find that extension through the legs. Now, from that position there, we're going to then straighten one leg out, trying to keep that back extension, and then flex that foot, keeping that back extension, and then come back in, all the way in, and then alternate, keeping that back extension. So you'll feel a definite stretch through the hamstring, and then through the nerves as you're going. Just stretching nicely through the hamstrings. And you might feel a bit of a sensation all the way up through into the gluteal area, and that's okay as you're doing that exercise. Now those muscles are warmed up, we're going to go into some very simple movements. The first movement we want to do is a slight rotation movement. So, with this movement, I'll just turn slightly to the side so you can see the pattern. Then draw the feet back, activate the base. Feel my spine extensors coming on. As I twist, I'm going to rotate, turn my body, keeping those extensors on, and twisting, and then coming back. So the twist is with extension. Coming back, and twist again, coming back to the center, and twist. So if I go to the front position as I twist, it's inhale as you twist, and your body just wraps around a little bit, and then twist to the other side, pushing down through the feet. Feel the extension, and then back. Inhale, twisting, and back, and then again, and back. Now from there, what we're going to do is move very slightly forward. So you're going into that position where you can go as far forward as you can, keeping the head back and those lower back muscles on. And then you're going to lean back to the upright position. Lean forward, feeling the weight increase down through the legs. So you feel the leg musculature coming on, and then coming back. Leaning forward, and then coming back. Now you're going to lean forward, and as you lean forward, you're going to do that slight twist with our body. Little twist, center, twist, and center. So when I do my spinal twist in that position, first of all, I find the extension, I lean forward, feeling the weight go down through my feet. As I do the twist, I turn my body in that extension. I can wrap my hand behind the back so I can feel my extensors working, and then twist with my hand behind the back, looking up. And then come back to the center. Going to the other side, my hand goes towards the other leg, and then I twist. Coming back, and then up. The progression from this, if you feel comfortable, is you can go forward, hand behind the back, twist, you bring your arm out to the side, and then you lift. Your arm becomes like a lever to increase the rotational twist, and then come back. To the other side, it is leaning forward, feel the weight go down through the feet, hand to the side, twist, arm over the top, and all the way up. So in terms of the series that we're going to learn, there are two arm positions that you're learning today. The first arm position is the hand behind the back, and the second arm position, we're using the arm as a lever. So, first of all, we're going to go forward with that first movement. We use arm position number 1, hand on the opposite leg, twist. You can come back to the center, and then twist the other way. Center. Now you can keep doing that arm position, but if you feel comfortable, you can add extension. And then back. I start with arm position number 1, and then take it to arm position number 2. And then back. Arm position number 1, 2. Back. Again, last one. Arm position number 1 and 2. And then coming back up. Now, there's some really simple exercises to start getting energy through the legs and start moving more effectively through the spine. The next series that we're going to do is actually start connecting that same series or that same energy into the quads and get a little bit of strength that we can get from the benefit of sit to stand. Now, what you're going to aim to do here is going to draw the feet back once again until you get to that activation point with the perineal muscles. You start with drawing the head back a little bit until you feel the back extensors work. From this position here, you can start with the hands on the legs. You rock your weight forward, you feel the weight go down through the feet, and then you stand up nice and tall. And then you can come back down, feel the weight go down through the feet, keep the back in extension, and sit down. So we're going to do 10 sit-to stands here. And 1, going down, and 2, down, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 to go, 9, last one, and 10. Well done. Now we're going to have a little rest for a moment, and then we'll try progression. With that progression, when we do our sit to stands, we're going to have the feet drawn back, drawing the head back so you get the extensor system working. You're going to lean forward, standing up, and then you come back down so you're just about to touch the stool, and you feel these muscles switch on here. At that point there, you're going to come back up again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. Well done. Have a rest. Now, from that series, we're just going to progress a little bit further with using our legs and our upper body. This is a nice little series to start stretching out through the hip flexors and starting to get better extension through the spine. In this series, particularly for those people that are sitting down all day long at work, in their chair where they're often sitting a little bit forward, head down, the back in a little bit of flexion, this is a really simple one you can do with a very simple office chair. Unless you have armrests, of course, but you sit close to the edge of the office chair, you move your bottom right to the edge. I do the same thing, I draw my foot back until I feel that muscle on the outside of my leg activate. This is my right leg I'm activating. Put my hand on the stool, and then I'm just going to push the other leg back. Now, in that position there, I can extend through my back leg, my buttocks muscle should activate, and as I do that, I'm going to draw my head back so I extend through my spine. Push right back. 1, then I can just relax that knee. Keep the activation through the feet. 2, 3, and 4. Good. We're going to go to the other side. So, move to the other side. Draw down through that leg. Reach my right leg back in this case. Either side of the stool. Keep that connection down through the left leg at the front. And then I'll start with drawing the foot back. One hand's on the side of the stool here, the other one on my leg. I'm pushing back through the right leg. Head right up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then relax. Now, if you felt that was good, you can repeat that same series. But if you have no shoulder injuries and you feel flexible in your back, you can progress it a little bit further. So you get a longer stretch for the hip flexor system. To do that, all we need to do is add the arms. Start once again. Hand on the edge of the stool here, the other hand on your leg. Have the foot in the nice set position, drawing the left leg back in this case here, getting my back extension. Now, at this point here, I can transfer my hands. I've got my hand behind the back position that we started with first of all, so I'm getting good extension. At that position there, I can lift my hand up, straight up, look up to the ceiling,
and stretching my back and my legs. So in this case, when I'm holding that stretch, I should feel an increased stretch right down to my hip flexor line. Arm right up, stretching, 2, 3, and then back. So I just do 2 of these, leg back first, pushing from arm and leg, stretching, 2, 3, and back. And then go to the other side. Fix it through that foot, other leg back, transfer your hands, then pushing back first of all, feel for the back extension, growing the head up, and then lengthening the top hand up. Hold it, 2, 3, and then coming down. Pushing back, lengthening up, hold it, 2, 3, and then coming back. Well done. So that's a very simple extension exercise that you can do with your chair. If you're working from home and doing lots of office works, I would recommend that you do something simple or one of these very simple exercises at least for 5 minutes each hour. You have to keep moving. Now another fantastic one that we can do just to make your sit to stands a little bit more difficult is we're going to try and do the same thing as we did with our very first sit and stand. But when we get to the top, we're going to try and go up into a slight raise. Okay, in this case here, I draw my feet back once again until I feel the activation of the perineal muscles. My back is going to go into extension. From there, I'm going to stand up nice and tall, and then when I get to the top, I want to go onto a balanced position or a raise. And then I'm going to come down through that raise with a very light touch of the heels back towards that seat, keeping that extension. Coming back up, 2, 3, raise, down, 2, 3, fully squat. And then up, 2, 3, raise, and then down. Now if you can't get all the way down to that knee bend, it's very simple. Just go down to a small knee bend and then push up. All the way up, 2, 3, down. Feel the muscles around that ankle activate just there. I've got these muscles recruiting. And then with those muscles switched on, I'm going to then push up through that line onto my raise. And then back down, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, down. So you can do the deep squat version or a small squat version. Up and then relax. Now, there's lots of benefits in standing. So if you've been sitting at work for a long period of time, I often find with people they end up with quite a lot of hip knee issues. And the very simple reason they end up with a lot of hip and knee issues is because the lumbothoracic region and the fascia that's attached to it often is sitting in a very prolonged position, if not rounded. And that over time becomes congested and tight. Very important that you regularly do some extension exercises to improve the nature and posture of your spine to counterbalance the effect of prolonged sitting. Now, if you can only sit at the computer and work, it's important that you do some of these simple exercises that are working you towards extension. An exercise that is very simple, that builds great bone density, great awareness, is balance. Now to do that, we're going to come up to the upright position. The focus once again is how do I use my legs? How do I use the ground? And how do I do the balance so that I'm activating the muscles of my full body? In this case here, as a normal person would be, if I wanted to balance, I could just sit into my hip, which is commonly the case with balance. People lift the leg and then back down. So you'll see the common way of balancing is people falling into their hip, lifting and back down. Where this is going to be slightly different is what I want you to think about is pushing down through the feet, and then as you push down through the feet, once again, you think of activating the perineal muscles. Once you get that little activation of the perineal muscles, if I stand here so you can see that, if you get that activation of the perineal muscles, We want to also feel the extension through the spine. So my back is in slight extension and my energy is going down through the heel more towards the slight forward part of my foot. In that position, I'm going to push down firmly through my left leg. It pushes down, so I extend and activate through my bottom as I lift my right leg up. 2, 3, back. 2, 3. Pushing down through my left leg first. So I've activated through my glutes, getting my extension mechanism working in my back. 2, 3, back. 2, 3. And up. 2, 3, back. 2, 3. Let's go to the other side. In this case here, we're going to push down through the right leg. Keep my body working into extension. So by pushing through the right leg, it avoids the hip going out to the side. Head drawing back. This is where balance gets a little bit harder. Coming up, 2, 3, back, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, back, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, and back. Now, we're going to make that challenge a little bit further. From this position here, you can keep that balance position, draw the head back, thinking of our posture. Later on, I'll talk to you about how the diaphragm works and how the back extension system works into that diaphragmatic dome. Drawing the head back keeps a platform of this diaphragm active. From this position here, hands are on the hip for this balance exercise. I push down through my left leg. And simply, as I push down, I go forward with the foot, back up to my knee, and then behind myself into extension. Back up, 2, 3, forward, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, back, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, forward, and then relax. Going on to the other leg. Back into extension, diaphragmatic dome, up, 2, 3, forward, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, back, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, forward, 2, 3, up, 2, 3, back. Center and relax. Now, a few of you may have found that quite hard to hold all those concepts together. It doesn't happen overnight, but it will happen. So one of the next things that you want to practice, if you're a little bit more keen, is how to activate some of the muscles of the buttocks and to get the back buttocks to be able to improve the extension through the lumbosacral region. In this very simple exercise, we're going to go forward, and as we go forward, circle the leg around and forward again. So I'm still maintaining my extension. Around and forward, keeping that press down through my leg. And I'm going to go back, go in the reverse direction, keeping that extension mechanism working as I go. And back. We go on to the other side again. Here I'm pushing down. I activate into extension. There's a slight activation of my glutes as I do this. The leg goes forward. And then around. 1, 2, and 3. Trying to keep all those elements in check. Back. 2, 3. And then relaxed. So that's your first balance challenge. There's always a little progression that can make it a bit harder, but not for today. So take your seat back onto your chair. So one of the most amazing things about physiotherapy is that, and what we practice here at Physio Gym, is that there's a lot to the body. The body is made up of many different elements. It's the physical body, the bones, the muscles, the myofascial system, the nerves. And it's all these little cells that are in between that can often house many different elements of the body's fluid systems. When we're using our body, we have to be aware of all those different things. When I work with a body, I'm pushing and pulling and moving those things around. and I'm training you how to better use those systems. One of the most amazing systems of the body is the heart. The next one is the power of the diaphragm. When you learn to use both the heart, the diaphragm, the body, you can really change how your body moves. Muscles are a powerful source to help you improve your movement. So with those muscles, we can also change the way that the mind works. So on our next session, we might start with a little bit of breathing exercises so you can start integrating these concepts. Thank you.